Alright, gotta go fast, because it's time for Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Except this is Sonic 3 Angel Island Revisited. So basically this is fan-made sort of upgrade of the game. There's a lot of fun little options that you're able to tweak. I didn't go into most of them because I wanted to keep like the base gameplay and close to normal. But I did have some fun with like picking the made music tracks, so we'll get to see some of the Sonic 3 music, which ends up getting replaced if you do the full lock-on version. So one thing I definitely want to address right off the bat, because I've apparently learned this is a somewhat controversial stance, in that, you know, my preference for Blue Sphere is apparently very unique to just me alone, because it seems like every friend I talk to, like they prefer other special stages, like Sonic 2 special stages, especially, which, you know, as I went over during the Sonic 2 playthrough, not my favorite because I've never been the best at those. I don't know, but you know, I never expected like Blue Sphere to be, you know, such a, you know, controversial thing where like, oh man, everyone's like saying I can't play Blue Sphere, I hate Blue Sphere and stuff. Like, wow. But anyway, the fun thing we get to do here, we're gonna collect all the emeralds. One feature I did enable is there's a feature where you can cancel out of super mode when you get all the emeralds, which will be useful for if and when I do get them all and I don't have to worry about going in to super mode or possibly taking damage just so I don't get into super mode like I did when I was doing the Knuckles playthrough in Sonic 2. And as I said, obviously we're doing this playthrough here with Tails, although I did use the feature I found there where you can actually switch the localization name to Miles, just for fun. Doesn't really affect anything. But yeah, we're doing this one as Tails, which apparently this game does add the feature for transformations for both Super Tails and Hyper Tails, where if you're playing your regular base Sonic 3 and Knuckles game, Tails only has one super form when he collects all the emeralds and super emeralds. So if I remember right, I think the super form they add is sort of similar to what they did with the Sonic Mania, where he just has basically like invulnerability. They didn't add anything like the flickies that he gets when he gets all the emeralds and super emeralds in the original version of the game. And another thing you could see as well is that this version does have an update for full widescreen support, which makes it pretty much like fully in line with what you got with those mobile versions of... Oh wait, I think I missed a jump spot I wanted to take. So that's the only thing with this stage, is I always kind of get lost. Alright, I think... should be somewhere along the lines here. No, I don't want to do this room yet. Okay, here we go. This will work. But yeah, the widescreen support, which doesn't really change too much from the little bit I kind of tested, but it is really nice, just from a visual standpoint. So we got that going for us. And I think we want to go back this way. Wait, no. I want to go back this way. Ish. We'll find it eventually. Oh, the speed. Alright, not that way. There we go. Ooh, we're going fast. Of course, you know, once again, apparently I'm alone in thinking this, but like the Sonic 3 Emerald Stages on Blue Sphere aren't too bad overall, at least in my opinion. I never found them overly annoying, but the Super Emerald stages definitely get a lot tougher. And there's also the fact that I don't think there's quite as many of the Super Emerald stages when you get to the Sonic & Knuckles levels. So you also have like less time to try and collect all 7 of your emeralds when you get to that half of the game. Because you only have until like Hidden Palace Zone. And then that little Broken Rock section, that's the Knuckles exclusive path. And I remember, like, when the game first came out, you know, when it was just the Sonic 3 half, and seeing that part, I'm like, what is up with that? Because obviously Knuckles wasn't available player in that part of the game. And you just were like, gee, I can't get in there. Then you figure out much later on, hey, we can get there with Knuckles. So as I'm playing with Tails here, there's another kind of controversial point I kind of wanted to address, which is sort of a long-standing debate I had with Alex on the Facebook chat, where the question of best sidekick is constantly raised between Tails and Luigi, which of course I've been on Team Tails pretty much all the way since Sonic 2 came out. Not that I have anything against Luigi, I've always been a fan of Luigi as well, especially back in the day when it was like, you know, if you're playing like the original Mario Brothers games like Mario 1 or Mario 3 or Mario World, you know, I was always more than willing to play as Luigi because green's my favorite color, so a character whose main color scheme is green, yeah, sure, I'm all for that. But I always found, you know, Tails has a whole lot more utility and hasn't been turned into like the total running joke that Luigi has. And I was just going back and forth on that whole debate for forever. I say he's wrong. And I think even like the character battle, you know, agreed with me that the character battle video that was put out like years ago agreed with me, but hey. And part of it also might be that I was just a major Sonic gamer back in the day because of having the Sega Genesis too. That probably helped. And probably don't need all that because yeah, we already have 10 lives before we even get through to the end of Act 2 of Angel Island here. And the elemental shields, because I definitely want to talk about these guys as well here, because these were another new feature that was added into Sonic 3, replacing the classic blue shield, and we'll get fire just for the heck of it. Take this exclusive Tails path. So the elemental shields are definitely like really insanely overpowered relative to the classic blue shield, because they do deflect projectiles. At least most of the projectiles. There might be a few here and there that are kind of still immune to that, but eh. Alright. So this is another fun Blue Sphere stage. We're getting into the crazier stages with making sure we can... Okay, I'll save that one if I want to have a chance at getting the perfect. Okay, and then here. And then obviously the trick is if you ever have like those big bunches of blue spheres, if you do a... Ah, nuts! Crap! This is one thing I really wish I had my 6-button controller. Like I've said before, the D-pad on the Xbox 360 controller is... It's okay, but it could be a lot better. So yeah, that has always been a fun mystery, why there's just that random ramp with the Rhino Badnik there. Never quite figured that out. And it's also going through Angel Island zone here. It's fun to point out that technically the Sonic 3 Knuckles was my first attempt at doing like an LP video series. I think I still have the very first video I did for Sonic 3, which I never did the follow-up. It was just Angel Island Zone, because I think that was even way back when there was the 10 or 15 minute time limit upload for YouTube videos. And, you know, I don't remember what recording program I was using at the time, but yeah, like the quality on that one was like awful. I just never deleted it, just kept it up for posterity's sake. You gotta be careful because that bridge actually kind of disappears pretty quickly when he blasts it with the fireball. Also, I don't think I was going for emeralds when I did that previous video. Alright, where's the... There's the capsule. Now, and it also might seem like you get a lot of cheese with Tails' flying ability in this game. Although I will kind of pay for that later when I get to Marble Garden Zone. Yay! Alright, let's have some fun over here. So we can use Tails' flight ability to get all the way over here. Let's go! So good old Hydra City. Now this is another thing which apparently there's some controversy that I was never really aware of. But there's some differences of opinions on how the name of this stage is pronounced. Like, I always said Hydra City, but apparently there are a lot of people out there that will swear that it's Hydrocity. I don't know. I don't know what Hydrocity, if that's actually a word or what. Apparently. Let's get away from these guys. Take the upper path up here. More evidence. Oh, I was gonna say more evidence of it reflecting it, but I totally gimped my jump there. Alright, let's try the next special stage. Yeah, this is another one. This one, it'll skip the stage that you didn't complete. Alright, so we'll go this way, jump over. Yeah, so this one's kind of, I've always found, like, similar to that, the previous one that we finished. You know, with the way that the maze of this level is kind of organized. This is where we want to finish off. So yeah, I don't know. If you, yeah, like I say, that'd be one thing where it'd be like, hey, if you've ever had your preference of Hydra City versus Hydrocity, let me know. We can settle this debate once and for all. Yeah, there's really like no extra benefit for going for a perfect other than just getting like a lot of extra points. It doesn't give you any other kind of bonus or anything like that. Alright. Don't need to fool around too much. Alright, so we got the Gray Emerald. And so, like I said, the earlier you can get these things out of the way, the less I have to worry about trying to collect them later on. It's always good. See, and another fun feature... Oh, I missed going back for that. That's alright. Not a big deal. See, as I said, well, it does look like we get the benefit of Tails being able to fly to cheese things. If you're playing as Sonic, there's actually a lot of cheese you can get with the Insta-Shield ability. Because that thing is very broken as far as abilities go. And plus he gets, like, access to all the extra bonus stuff with the shield abilities, like the double jump from the lightning shield, the bubble bounce from the water shield, and even the flame charge from the fire shield. It's all very it's like all very creative stuff that, you know, that Sonic 3 introduced. Alright, so everyone's favorite section, the wall chasing you. I remember back when I was a kid playing this game for the first time, like, this section always gave me so much stress. I still kind of do hate chase and outrun the wall segments, but it's not too bad, especially when you consider that we have the Sonic & Knuckles Altered layout there, so like where that 1-up is, if you're playing just like the base Sonic 3 version, it's actually a spring that'll bounce you backwards. And then there's like an extra set of spikes and stuff, so there's a few like small things like that. Which stage are we in? Oh, okay. Jackpot Sonic Ring! Not that we need that, so... Let me just see. Let's see if we get a jackpot. Bar. Yeah, we didn't get a chance to really explore this much in Sonic 2's Casino Night Zone. I don't know. I might have gone into one of those casino slots. But yeah, one cool thing with Sonic 3 is that they introduced like different themes for the separate acts, which I always thought was a pretty cool addition. It really gives some like extra separate identity to different levels. I think most times, like, the Act 2 theme is a little bit better. Some of the stages I can go back and forth. This one, like, both of the themes are, like, it's so hard to pick between Hydra City 1 and Hydra City 2. And they're both pretty banging. Okay, let's keep on rolling. I was gonna say, yeah, there's a spring up there. We'll take the upper path. It's a little harder to get up there with Sonic, so we'll just take advantage while we can. Almost got the perfect loop on those. I guess that's one thing that was added. I was gonna say, yeah, actually, I don't think there's anything too noteworthy over there. Yeah, this little fan-made version of the game adds, like, when you come out of like invincibility mode, you have like those flicker invulnerability frames. I don't know if they're really actual full invulnerability or if it's just like a visual thing. I haven't really put that to the test, but cool little things like that. One thing I also really love about this game is just how good the support is for like the 60 frames per second, because that was one thing that was kind of bothering me a little bit when I was... I don't have enough. It's too high up. I wasn't sure if I could make it back up there. Sometimes you get unlucky with those, the timing on these rotating pillars over there. But yeah, when I was doing, like, when I got to, like, actually doing recording, the frame rates seemed to be a little bit inconsistent in Sonic 2. I didn't really notice it so much when I was doing Sonic 1, but I noticed it a lot in the Sonic 2 video. And this is another one where, it's another thing where if you're not like 100% familiar with the way like Sonic 3 Knuckles looks in its original form, there's actually a lot of work done to make the Blue Sphere stages look a lot crisper and smoother in this version, which is another really cool bit of feature work that they've done here. Can really appreciate that. Okay. Old-fashioned life insurance. Oh yeah, I forgot that they added like achievements that you can get. This is like, it unlocks like little bonus features. Let's see. Okay, we'll go over here. Close off of that. You could need to go over here. So yeah, we're now just the point where we're just closing up all the loose ends with these blue spheres. But yeah, I think they like added like unlockable feature options, like you can get the drop dash from Mania, the super peel out, and other things like that. I think there's like an unlockable Tails and Knuckles mode, which is really cool. It gives us a lot of fun replayability. Alright. Keep getting those extra lives and continues that we're going to need, I'm sure. And yeah, one thing you'll definitely notice also is how much larger some of the levels are relative to Sonic 2. Like Sonic 2, like some of the stages could be really short. Alright. Let's go for Hydra City boss. If I was like feeling like really really in a hurry, we could the only thing is sometimes it's a little hard to judge where you're at when you're bouncing like super high off the screen, but we're still doing okay. I think just by looking at my clock here. Look, I think I'll probably have enough time, I'll do Marble Garden before I have to split. I like to try to keep the videos not too much over half an hour if possible. I'm already at 25 minutes. And, you know, and some of that is just because we're goofing around with blue sphere stages, so. Marble Garden Zone, or sometimes I always kind of like jokingly refer to it as Marvin Garden Zone. Stupid Monopoly reference. I don't really know where I started doing that. But, yeah, well. We'll go up. A lot of times I go down, so I don't know if I've gone this upper path in a while playing this game. So these guys are fun little enemies. Yay! Get this invincibility that will immediately lose. Alright, we're gonna live dangerously. I'll try to get the perfect in this one because I don't have a lot of confidence in getting any perfects whatsoever in the Sonic 3 and Knuckles, the Sonic and Knuckles Master Emerald, or, well, yeah. Super Emeralds, that's what the word. So yeah, this one I always found is the trickiest one just because you got all these like random red spheres that are just sort of like blocking your path at inconvenient times. Yeah, like that guy there. Alright, no. That time I jumped just a hair too soon. There we go. So there's one more of those somewhere. There it is. Okay, so that's that. So we can go back and find the rest of these guys. Alright, now we just gotta get back. Find that other... There it is. There's that line. Boom! See, like I said, that one's a little bit trickier to try to get a perfect on. So just one more, and like I said, I don't know what happened. Like I said, I'm just not used to trying to play this game with Xbox One controllers and the like. Just for secrets, we need those rings, right? Okay, I'm gonna probably get crushed on this spot. There we go. And those platformers are like especially frustrating if you're in super form. You'll just be going around corner nonchalantly, and hey, look, I was going so fast that I ran into this guy and I just got instantly crushed. Isn't that great? Yeah, and then when, like, a level, like, so much for just, like, going right and forgetting about it. No, set it and forget it here. Alright. A lot of very insane platforming and constantly changing up. Oh, whoops. I knew that was there too. I don't know why I always fall for that. Like, 9 times out of 10, I get owned by that thing. So embarrassing. Let's go! I still needed that guy. Ah! Almost went too fast. That's alright. Let's take a different path. With a zillion more rings to collect. And shields. Ow! And my momentum just carrying me directly into a spike. Aren't we making ourselves look great? Alright, which... I think this might be the... Okay, more of the slot machine again, yeah. For some reason, I totally thought that was a different color of those... stars hanging there. Like, there's 3 different stages. Like, if it's like the really red ones, I think it takes you to the glowing sphere stage. If they're all white, it takes you to the gumball stage. And if they're that middle, it takes you to the coin slot stage we were just at. Yeah, this great Sonic 3 version of the mini-boss theme. Ow! I was waiting for that to happen. So, alright. Alright, let's see if we can get through Marble Garden 2 in a fairly reasonable length of time. And we can split our segments. So this game will probably end up being like at least 3 videos long. Maybe even 4, depending on what we do with the Super Emerald stages. Alright, okay, let's see if we can get through to the Knuckles stage up there. Yeah! Like I said, I always consider this like the default Knuckles path just because it's easier to get through there with Knuckles. You don't have to like go out of your way for spin dashing. In the end, I think you kind of end up getting around the same places anyhow, so... Carefully with this, guy over there. There we go. I think it's just an extra life. Oh no, there is the ring over here. Okay. Alright, let's try this one again without the fail. If we're feeling so inclined. So... yeah, once again, we'll be done with the Blue Sphere stages for a while until, like I said, until we get to the Sonic and Knuckles levels after we complete this guy. So at least then we'll get the benefit of less interruptions with this gameplay. Alright, now we can collect all these rings. Because it isn't just enough to make them appear, gotta collect them all. And there's gonna be one more of those. I'm gonna say, okay, we want to leave that one there. Alright, now we gotta go back this way. And 1, 2, 3, 4! Alright, we were 7 for 7 getting perfects. Not bad. Keep getting those continues, man. Miles can now be Super Miles. Honestly, yeah, that was an added feature. I probably should have turned that off. I just kind of forgot. So that's kind of my bad. Like I said, I don't plan to actually use that. But yeah, like I said, I just forgot. But we do have that option there that allows us to cancel out of a super mode. Now, I always kind of do that out of habit. Sometimes I have like a shield. Because it's one of those things where, if you have a shield and you're on those things, you run into an enemy, you'll lose your shield. You don't lose your rings. But yeah, if you hit like any kind of enemy or spikes while you're riding on those super fast tops. Okay, that's just that slot machine bonus stage again. Don't care about that. So yeah, if we come across any more of those giant rings, all they're going to do is give you 50 rings once you have collected all the emeralds. Which can be good if you're looking to just sort of melt the game with super abilities. Isn't quite what I have in mind, though. Alright, let's... Oh yeah. That's another one I fall for 90% of the time, even though I know it's there. Alright, so by the time we finish the boss, this first part's going to be a little over 40 minutes, but... Didn't want to... like, just stop in the middle of an act. One thing you can do is, with a little bit of, like, trickery, you can get into the Knuckles path with Sonic or Tails, and you can fight his Act 2 boss instead of their Act 2 boss, which is kind of cool. I've never quite managed to do that. You'll see that a lot in the speedruns, I think, because it's apparently a little bit faster. Hey, and speaking of the level trying to kill you, although that's not so bad. I think it speeds up a little bit when you get to the end there, just so you're not waiting forever. Ah, these guys in my way. Have enough rings. Alright, so this is like one of the tricky parts when you're doing this as Tails alone. 4. Alright, so we got half of our hits there. What? That was weird. So I take crushing damage, or some sort of like bottomless pit damage. That was... I've never had that happen to me before. Of course, now without my fire shield, this is going to be like 10 times more annoying. 2, 3, 4. Oh, thank God for that. Yeah, so you have to hit him with your tails. And unfortunately, your only really good option is to do it when he's going horizontally across the screen. I don't know, you might be able to get him, but like the timing on those just feels like a lot more frustrating to deal with. Alright, cool. He's going that way again. There we go. So yeah, other than that really bizarre crushing death. That might be something I was introduced with this sort of hack. I guess I was just standing in the wrong place and like the level geometry was more solid than it is in the regular game. Oh well. So yeah, we'll just pause for a moment there and we will pick things back up in the next part with Carnival Night Zone. Alright, I'll see you later then.